I don't know if you guys got that. Hi, welcome everybody. We were just getting a countdown from the person who's running this, and there was it's a developer event, so there was a lot of discussion of whether or not it should be from 10 to 1, and then we decided it should be 0 base. So I think we all agreed it was going to be 3, 2, 1, 0, right?
Right.
Is that
makes
But
sense?
that is not what happened.
What did he do?
He turned off his mic.
He's 3, 2, 1.
3, 2. Anyway,
Right.
Hi everybody. I'm Neil Charney. Welcome to what I believe we're calling the Afterparty. This is it. Like, look how cool this is. We're already here. This is what a virtual Afterparty is. Okay, there are some limitations to a virtual world, but I want to welcome everybody. This is the OutSystems Afterparty. Many of you, most of you, hopefully, got a chance to spend the day with us today. And we wanted to just do a little recap. I thought it might be nice to talk to some folks who were there from OutSystems. And so with me on the screen, and I'll go around, I have no idea can I make a Brady Bunch reference? I'm going to make a Brady Bunch. Who doesn't, right? I don't know if the order is right, but over this way is Sydney Lai from our team. Say hello, Sydney.
Hey, everyone.
And Sydney, actually, I'm going to, you're a lead developer advocate. We're going to come back to you because I have some questions for you. Right underneath Sydney, I don't know if you can see her, there is Jen Lopez, who, if you actually attended the keynote, these faces will be familiar to you now. And Jennifer is the Senior Director of Community and Advocacy, and we're going to talk to her a little later about developers. See, I did it. That's right. I went there. And Gonzalo Gaelish, who we call Gigi sometimes. Does everybody call you Gigi or just friends?
Now they do after you started.
It's your
fault.
Runs our product development and actually I had a great chance this morning to talk about some of the exciting things that are out there. And so I wanted to start, first of all, welcoming everybody. I think everybody gets about 2 drink tickets. I'm not sure. This is the after party, so there's I don't know where the virtual drinks are, but welcome. So first of all, I just want to go around a little bit and ask folks just from the day. I will tell you that for me, it was great, and then I'll ask you guys your high points for this. I think Paolo, it was great to kind of see him lay out the mission for the company, which is really giving every organization or business the power of innovation through software. And that theme that he sort of set throughout, sharing that with some of the key customers that we had a chance to hear from. Pete Peterson from the city of Oakland, always amazing to hear that story. But not only Pete, but Beatrice Clark from Stem Cell. What's interesting about both of those folks is they've been OutSystems customers for a while, and they were talking about innovation on top of the innovation they had done already. And that was something that I think, as Paolo talked around about the concept of not only building things quickly, but building them right, and then building them for the future. That notion of continuous innovation was something that we heard throughout. So it was really interesting for me, especially to hear from the customers about that. But that's the beginning. I'll start with Gonzalo because I think he's in a car. Now he went dark.
No, I think I'm here. Yeah.
All right. So did you get a chance to wander around, talk to anybody, or I'd just love to hear your thoughts about what was interesting for the day for you?
No, I think you summed it up nicely. I did get a chance to wander around both at the actual event and like in other platforms where people were reaching out. We're all very connected to the community, so a lot of people were reaching out. I thought I saw a couple of sessions that were really good from our community members. I really liked the session about security and reactive from Remco. There were other sessions from the product people that I thought were really good. The experience builder one was really good. So the highlights to me was the quality of the content, and people just reaching out and saying that they felt that what we had sort of accomplished in the keynote was this idea of laying out end-to-end what OutSystems can really do for a company, instead of just focusing on what's new, really helping people go along that journey of what would happen in a company as you connect all the dots. And it was even for the I was expecting, to be honest, some pushback from people that were veterans, but everybody was like, oh my god, it's so good to just hear that story, be reminded of that story again, of really what's special about the technology and how we use it. So that was a lot of fun. I got a lot of good feedback from our partner community, reaching out and saying how proud they were to be part of this, and that just makes it special. So just the quality of the delivery, every session I attended, and people just reaching out around the storyline and how they felt represented in the benefits of the keynote, and that they could use it in any context. It's not just about the announcements. It's about this 20 years of history and where we're going the next 20 years. But that was fun.
Yeah, it's an amazing customer base, amazing group of folks who have been part of the community. So it's great to hear from them. I'm going to go to Sydney next.
I want to jump in.
Yeah,
can we give a shout out to our actors and actresses in the reenactment?
Oh yeah.
I mean, come on.
The case studies, yeah.
Those were amazing.
Architectural
They were my favorite.
review.
Little
I could
title.
binge watch the architectural review section again, over and over again. That I thought was compelling.
I just want to make sure everybody understands that we have nothing against security people. We love security people. We have João was being very serious, but it's not stereotypical at all. We just we want it to be funny, but we absolutely love and work very well with security people. But great point, Jan. I mean, they were great, and I had to do the keynotes a few times to get ready. They had like one shot, so kudos to them. It was so natural.
That was great. Okay, so Jen, I'll go to you next. What were any of the highlights for you today? And then I'm going to talk to you a little bit about community as well. But we're doing the highlights now of the day.
Yeah. So honestly, the highlight of the day was just talking to the community. I mean, that's the biggest thing that you miss in not being, in person. Like last year, I spoke to, I don't know how many thousands of people throughout the day, right? So today I had people on LinkedIn and on Twitter and in the forums and in the booths and so like literally I've just been talking to people in the community, in various Slacks, like you name it, I've been talking to them in various places. And one thing that I've heard a lot, people really, really liked, and I think you're about to get into this, not just the look at the product and that sort of thing, but a vision of the future of how we're looking at developers, how we, really want to be a part of that new generation, growing the developers, helping create a diverse developer world, and that sort of thing. And people really seem to, that really stuck with them. I've been getting a lot of people reaching out about that.
And we set up an opportunity if you're looking for jobs. We're trying to do some matching out there for folks who are looking for development opportunities and companies who are looking for some awesome OutSystem developers.
Yes, in the careers booth, we have some matching set up, so you can go in, you kind of fill out your information in a form, and after we'll be doing some matchmaking there.
Sounds good. All right, I'm going to go to Sydney. And Sydney, I'm going to ask you about your game title later. But Sydney, any highlights for you as you were sort of wandering around virtually?
Yeah, I would say I was definitely nerding out about Gonzalo's your product review, especially with the AI prediction to help with the pair programming aspect. Yeah, of course, the dark mode. Everyone freaked out about dark mode.
That's very hot. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. So definitely nerding out about that. And then, of course, when I went to the innovation booth, I watched three times the interview with Pokemon. So I just wanted to know how the Pokemon company was using OutSystems, and I had to watch that 2-minute video again and again because it was just glorious. It was glorious.
So I'm gonna also look on the comments to see if anybody out from the comments had something that you really loved. We want to call it out, and I'm gonna.
There's some shout outs.
One thing, we haven't talked about this a lot, but one of the I think one of the interesting scenarios we kept on showing was this co-development that was taking place, or this shared development that was going on with some of the builders, especially. And people talk a lot about citizen development, but what's really interesting is, IT is generally involved, wants to be involved, but the ability to bring in other folks from the organization who are part of the process. I thought that was an interesting concept that was shown in the demos. Are you seeing that more? Are you hearing about that? Gonzalez, that question was to Gonzalez.
Yeah.
Oh, it was to me. Sorry, Neil. I thought for some reason you were asking the audience for comments. Absolutely. I mean, I think we're just scratching the surface of what can actually be done in terms of sort of the next decade of how IT teams and businesses are going to collaborate. All of this diversity that Jen was talking about, actually, I think is going to cause people are just not going to accept these silos anymore. You're working. You want business people. They want to work closer to technology because they understand it better. It's a part of their lives. We find every single day that IT people more and more they want to get closer to impact and understand why they're working and get closer to their users. If you did this confluence of things, people just want to work better together. And part of our builder strategy is to accelerate that collaboration. It gets confused with, do we want to take one person out of the equation, put another? That's not the point. It's actually to make the entire workflow to get the best of both worlds collaborating on top of the outcome. So we see that all the time as a trend. I think, 3 years, 4 years from now, it's going to be just the way things get done. And we want to be at the forefront of that for sure.
Awesome. Hey, Gigi, I'll tell you, I know you were really nice. First of all, stay if you can. If you need to go, feel free to go. I don't want to lock you into this. We caught you literally in your car.
No, it's okay. I'll stay as long as I can.
Oh, awesome.
This is pretty informal. So
okay,
let's
go.
go.
Great. So, Jen, can you talk? I want to switch over to developers a little bit since, and what you talked about a little in the keynote. We just touched on some of the community work you're doing. Can you talk a little bit more about that? And then, just love to hear you kind of chat a little bit about what you were touching on today.
Yeah, so I think it's really interesting. We're in a place right now, right, where number one, we've had this pandemic. We have people who are out of work, people who have more time at home, people who have, right, all of these things are happening, and I think that it's the time is now to jump in and help with this kind of next wave and next generation of developers. There are people out there who want to be in tech, who want to be doing these things, and I personally, I know the company does too, but I want to be there. I want to help people. I want to help people get great jobs and have great benefits and be a part of this innovation and creating really awesome things. And to me, that's what's really exciting. And that's what gets me, obviously, very motivated. And again, what people were saying to me in the conversations and the feedback and stuff I was getting was like, yes, let's do this. Let's make this happen. So that's really exciting. And I think part of what you were saying, where it's not just a developer over here and a business person over here, and they're working separately, there's a lot of stuff that has to happen together. And I think that the business person doesn't have to be, I am a business person and I only do this, right? They can expand their skill set. They can do some of that development. They can, there's a lot of opportunity there. And that's what I'm really excited about.
Well, awesome. And I should mention, you're in Seattle right now. And I believe we're opening up some coding schools in the, I don't know if it's in the area, not on the West Coast, or are they? Am I wrong on that one? Where have we just recently?
Do you mean the in the education program, or
yes,
the?
I think it was the education program.
Remote developer schools, or
all
of those things.
Where should people look if they're interested in certifications and joining the community? All of that. So,
since you asked, while you're here, go to the lounge. There's a number of community booths. There's a training and certifications booth. There's a community booth. There is a careers booth. So all of the things in ways that you want to learn, ways that you want to get to know the community, any of those things, all the people, the teams are there just like waiting to chat and give you information and help you out and guide you down your path.
Awesomeness. All right. I'm gonna switch over to Sydney for a second, but I'll let you know some of the questions we got already from shout outs out there. First of all, some people talking to each other because, it's an after party, or a post funk, as I like to say. A couple of questions. People want to know when they're getting the new shirts. Fair question. I hadn't even thought about it. It's an event. So I don't know the answer to that, but that was one of the concerns, is that we need a shirt. And the other one is, when are we going to start going on Twitch? Sydney.
Yeah, shout out for Keith. I think Keith is a badass. So,
okay. All right.
So yeah, let's do it. I mean, yeah, he rallies, and
all right.
I mean, he's also technical. I'm technical, so we can make a whole OutSystems Twitch thing. It'll be like 3 people,
You do Twitch, I'll do TikTok.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So Sydney, you're in Boston right now?
I'm in New York, the other Boston.
You're in New York. I think you're in Boston. I don't know. But
it's my accent in Boston.
If you're on LinkedIn, was really funny. I didn't know this, that you are a competitive esports player, and Fortnite 2019. Did you win?
It was no. It was a regional competition in New York City. So yeah, I think there's a lot of correlations with gamers and developers, or vice versa. If you ask a lot of developers, a lot of their first segue into a computer is they're trying to figure out a game, right? So, like the famous one, like Elon Musk, right? I think he built something for Atari back in the day. I'm sure, other famous developers when they share their story, but it really, oh, I guess, yeah, back to the Fortnite thing. Yeah, there was a local competition. I'm a huge fan of Tim Ferriss and like kind of the 80-20 and like hack your way into building something. So read Tim Ferriss and tried playing Fortnite because it was popular, and I was like, all right, let's do it. I have a whole blog post about how I broke it down, Excel spreadsheets. I had little sprints and like review sprints with myself. I would hide out in a Chinatown. Like I was hiding out in Chinatown in New York City at one of those like esports cafes, and just like I'd play for 9 hours and I'd sweat for no reason. Like I didn't move. I just sat for 9 hours and I'd be sweating. Anyways, so where do you want the story to go? I don't know.
No, that's it. And then you won. You won in a regional space. Thank God you won, because that's a lot of commitment. And then you came to OutSystems. And so I thought if you could talk a little bit about the developer mindset, let folks know what's going on there.
Yeah. I think the developer mindset, I mean, I personally experienced 2. I think one, there's either tribalism, which is like, I'm a ride or die with XYZ stack. And then there's the other side of kind of the tribalism, which is, I don't care how it's made. I just want it to be made. So that's kind of the mindset. But, I spoke a lot about this with Jen. And recently what I've been really seeing trend is developer advocates or developers are also moving into platforms and channels the developers weren't traditionally in. Just last night, I was going through Instagram, and I forgot her name. She's a developer. She's really famous for that Medium article. There's a Medium article, something with like 19-year-old developer gives an opinion. And on Instagram, she has like 47,000 followers. There's another TikTok programmer who has like millions of followers. And if you go through their feed, they're essentially developer advocates, and all they do is post like images or little short clips of like CS classes or like different JS code. And it's absolutely crazy. So I think it's really, really exciting to see developers also just really passionate about creating content and education to help other developers. Kind of a 2-prong answer. Yeah.
No, that's awesome. And then the other thing I wanted to make sure you had a chance to talk about is the upcoming is Decoded, actually, is the piece that would love to hear what's happening with Decoded.
Yeah, that's right. This is why I have this awesome mic. And it's because I partnered with the marketing team. Actually, the marketing team is like Carolyn, Flora. They were completely just gung-ho about creating a podcast series. And the podcast series, season 1, is about career development, right? So you can't really talk about pair programming over audio. It's kind of weird, but in this season, we're talking about some of the soft skills, but also the hard topics. And every episode is about, let's say, one episode's about aging. So becoming a senior developer in tech. Another episode is about, a developer becoming a founder, right? So there are some solo devs who want to become founders. There's that path. There's another interview with this crazy guy. He was a developer and he built the largest hackathon in the world. Then he became a Buddhist monk. And then he became a literal rock star. He has like 1.2 million views on the dopest music on YouTube. And then now he is a VC that invests in developers. And then, of course, all of this is really to talk about the changing faces of what developers are and what developers are working on. So it could be aging. Another one's being a woman and a developer. Another episode is being, Latinx and development, and that's one of my. Okay, I could talk about forever about this, but I think the way I looked at developers growing up, it has changed so much now, and even just the Instagram influencers and TikTok developer influencers alone, it's mind blowing. I'm excited. So yeah, check it out.
Where can people get more information on it? Where should they look?
Yeah, so basically any kind of podcast application that you use, it could be well, I use Pocket Cast because I'm on Android, but iTunes, of course, Stitcher, and then I think it's on Spotify. But yeah, anywhere you can find your podcasts, you can listen to it. And I highly recommend, if you have another friend who's interested in becoming a developer or just find these questions really, really great. I mean, definitely look into it. I think the interview that I appreciated the most was the one on aging, because tech changes really, really fast, and I can't avoid becoming older, right? And so, yeah. Also, Neil, I've seen your badass career, and I'm like, man, he's like, cool and a little bit older than me, and I could be cool and old and in tech older, and then in tech. It's
I'm
just
like,
awesome.
where is she going?
Cindy, I got to tell you, the nice thing about having been in tech for a while, and I tell you, I joined OutSystems about, I guess it's just the beginning of the summer, and I got to tell you, when I started, I remember I came to Microsoft, and it was at the beginning of it was 95. It was when they were just figuring out how to get into enterprise software, and I thought, if a company can do this, if they can make enterprise software easier to use, I want to be a part of it. That's literally why I went and joined Microsoft. Coming to OutSystems and getting in touch with that kind of excitement, the same kind of excitement, vibrancy, passion, driven by developers. It's at the heart of a company is if it's driven by that developer passion, there's nothing like it. So it doesn't even matter age. The span of ages and people and diversity of people who can get involved in technology is probably one of the most special things about what we do. And you go to an event like this, and what's incredible is even though it's virtual, it still feels like that connection, that excitement, that kind of magic of actually creating through software is around. And you're right, it comes from everywhere. It comes from starting with games. It starts with just random sort of things that you find out all of a sudden.
Tamagotchi.
You lose time. You lose time getting absorbed in this. And so it's been awesome to work with. First of all, it's been wonderful to meet some of the folks attending today, but it's also great to work with people who are just committed to building great software. And that's it. And it happens because I'm really happy to have all of you guys on, because you're all in touch with the community. I don't know if they realize how much the community and the customers are really, really listened to drive where we're going and to really understand the challenges and the ideas. And it's been wonderful to be a part of a company that is a listening company. It's a conversational company. I would say we are out there looking at how it's being used, how we can make it better, and how we can make it easier. So anyway, I think, I think as a day one, this, and it's virtual. Look at us. We're in I'm in London. Gigi's in Lisbon. Jen's in Seattle. Sydney is apparently in New York. So she says. And we have customers and partners all over the world coming to this. You made it through day one. I want to encourage you to attend tomorrow. Wake up for the keynotes. I know you're going to be out partying tonight. This is just the after party. I don't know where everyone else is going after this, but I got to tell you, I didn't get a lot of invitations. So I'm not sure. I feel a little.
We can go to Second Life. Should we just all go to Second Life?
Yeah.
Just-
but get up early because Paul Vincent from Gartner is going to be talking about Composable Enterprise, and it's a really, really interesting conversation about how software is changing, but how the way businesses and organizations are building software are changing. And also astronaut, former NFL wide receiver Leland Melvin, who, if you haven't ever heard him, he's done some TED Talks, fascinating. He's going to be joining us as well. And I'd encourage you to keep the conversations coming. I'm looking. Oh, there's a lot of questions. People want favorite games.
I would just like to point out the
Yes.
fact that who wouldn't want to listen to Sydney in a podcast, because her voice is like perfect podcast material. I just need to shout. I just need to give another shout out.
Thank you. I could also read like a FedEx shipping label. Download the FedEx app.
Okay. All right. It's an after party. Anything can happen. So I want to thank our special guest, Gonzalo Gigi Gayolis, for dropping in while he's driving. Are you actually driving anywhere?
No, I'm doing. I'm charging my car, which is a little.
He's charging the car.
Yes, charging the car. I'm almost done. So this is actually good entertainment while I wait for my electric car to charge.
All right.
But you guys, this was just so unplanned. And I just want to point out everybody that our good friends, Gonzalo Borrega, has just joined the chat. So for those of you that don't know, Gonzalo is an old-timer in the OutSystems community, ex-head of product, still a good friend of the company. And I think he's just logging in to tell me what horrible job I did today. That's it.
Oh.
Or just because you can't let go of the company. That's exactly, I think, what he was saying.
Didn't there used to be push-ups and things? Like maybe that's it. Where he's just missing the push-ups.
Absolutely. I got some heat about the push-ups. There were no push-ups today. So Neil got to work on that next time.
All right. We'll do push-ups next time. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming in. It was logistically fascinating. The red shirt, I think, worked for you. You don't see that often.
Thank you.
In a tech presentation as well as you did it. Eddie, we're going to be here again tomorrow night. I think we may not leave. We're just going to hang out at the after party. If there are questions on this, I'm going to take a look at them and try and get them answered tomorrow night. Also, if you guys have anyone you want me to try and drag on tomorrow, let me know and I'll try and get them on tomorrow so you can hear them. I want to thank my special guest, Gonzalo Jen Sable Lopez, not to be confused with the other Jen Sable Lopez, and Sydney Light for joining us today. You guys be safe out there. Have fun. Hug a developer. Okay. Cornell, just wave. No, that's wrong.
No, don't touch anybody.
Don't touch anybody.
Don't touch anybody.
Somebody wave.
Just do the arm. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Have a great night. Thanks a lot.
Bye-bye.
Come by the booths.